Hello, you all. It's Agnes coming to you with another flower project. I do have few of those plain metal flowers that I picked up at Michael's. I do wanted to bring some gold paint and, of course, some napkins and I think a pencil because we are going to be making some patterns. But as with anything when it comes to pattern, and if you've seen me doing it live, you do need to have your work scheduled, sort of the plan of the action. And as you can see, the flower has 3 different rows. And I do have so many ideas, but obviously what I wanted to do, it was not possible because I did not have enough petals in each row. So I decided just completely go wild. And notice I've done some stripes, some napkins, and I've done some checkered. So now I do wanted to show you quickly how I do that portion. I've done it already on the previous rows, but now I do wanted to show you how all this being done. But before we get there, as you can see, is in my second row of the petals, I still have some white ones that I didn't finish. So all what I'm going to do right now is to apply Mod Podge and really well, and then show you a super cool technique. Okay, I'm taking my time because I do want to make sure that I have a good amount of Mod Podge on each metal petal. So now what I'm going to do is, since as you know, I already done the first row, I'm going to cut the little strips of my napkin, and I really do not care what the design is all about. I'm just going to, for the pattern. So I'm just going to nicely add to each petal, and I'm intentionally making it slower for you to see how important that is. When you do this technique, you have to make sure that all the napkin is actually touching every single piece of the surface. And what I would like to also mention is, yes, you can use your clean finger. That means it does not have any of the Mod Podge to smooth out the wrinkles. But I do have a better method, but I'm going to show you in a bit. Now, look what happens. You know me, I do not like to waste stuff. So I'm actually using pieces of the napkin to put it together. So here we go. I usually like to take the saran wrap after I apply my napkin and nicely smooth it out all the possible wrinkles, and for this technique to make sure that every single piece of my napkin is touching the surface that I want it to stick on. Did you notice that napkin that I put the petal that I put with 2 napkins, pieces of the napkins, is actually looking pretty good? That pattern is really forgiving. So now let's go to the technique that I do wanted to show you. But in order for it to be safe, I would say do it over the sink, or like in my cases, I brought a little tray, a little bit of the water. And now look what I'm doing. I'm lighting up my napkin. And look how cool that is. I am telling you, I am observing, and I literally feel right now that I do want to put napkins on everything just because I do want to use the fire. But as you can see is, the trick to this whole process is that you need to make sure that the flyaways, the amount of the napkins that are hanging around the surface, the hard surface, is not as big. And of course now when it's all burned and you're satisfied, you just have to brush it off those little ashes from there and move on to another one. Let's have fun. See, I don't really leave much of the edging, but look how cool it is. It does in some cases leaves a little dark tracing to it that it's actually easy to remove with the brush, with another paintbrush. But you know what, even if it does leave here and there, I actually do like it because some projects actually do need that little punch, that little detail right on the edges. And I do want to let you know is that I do not want to take the credit for this. I only heard about this method, and I do have the napkin club in where we actually have fun with different techniques and different applications. So we tried it there, and I am hooked on it. So I really hope that you are enjoying this process, and you're going to sprinkle and show how easy decoupaging can be in those little tiny places. It is really, really, truly amazing to observe how the fire goes. I mean, I am going to just leave this one, and we're going to speed up through another portion because I do want it to continue with my petals, designing the last row. Of course, before we get there, we need to make sure that there is no ashes on the row. So, okay, I cleaned it all up, and now it's time to figure out what pattern goes now. As you can see, I'm trying to alternate in each row of the petals, a different design. And I'm telling you, as the first and the second row was sort of easy to figure out, as you go to the last one, it is getting more complicated. So if right here in this cluster, I have the stripes and I have the checks. And I, of course, have a little bit of the twirls. That means what Napkin brought. So I actually do not know. And it's, very difficult. As you can see, I struggle a little bit to figure out what should be my pattern now. These are the times where I truly wish I was crafting with you, but I feel the pre-recorded video shows actually better. So knowing that I do not have enough petals to go fully with my pattern, again, it was from the beginning, I just decided to go randomly. And you know what? Not even pay attention. So now look what I always do with every single one of them. I start my patterns right in the middle, and then I do my lines with the pencil, and then I just simply crisscross them. And of course, here I go again to my napkin before I'm going to start to paint. I'm telling you, I am addicted. Too bad that I do not have many places to add my napkins this time around. I'm telling you, I know I'm going to be doing more and more of those projects. And I'm telling you, as I'm recording it, I already see several more. So here I go again. That one is going to be quicker one. So I am just applying a good amount of the Mod Podge to the flowers using my saran wrap to smooth up the wrinkles. And in this case, I do want to make sure that my napkin is actually touching right the center of my flower, because that's going to be visible. Okay, I'm cutting the flyaways, obviously not perfectly, because I do want to have fun with some fire, and I am just working hard. As I am looking at myself smoothing my wrinkles over here, wish that will be that easier on your face, I'm wondering, is that the same method you guys are using when you apply your napkins? I know there are so many, and I would love to learn from you. I already know what my sassies are doing. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited, guys. We are going to be burning last time in this project. So here we go. Boom. Look at me. I did not even bring the water container. Bad Agnes. But just make sure to be safe. Just do it over the water or anywhere that you can have it water close to you. Look how fun that is. Is that not mesmerizing? And just like that, all what I have left is me cleaning the ashes. That's okay, we'll find another project. Okay, let's go have fun now with painting. And I do wanted to let you know, when you do this, it is not about perfection, at least in my cases. It's about having fun. So I actually do use the flat brushes, and those petals are, because they are actually on a smaller side, are not easy to paint with. But you know what? It's not going to bother me, because I do have a plan to hide my imperfection and even make more of those. Because I gotta tell you, painting black and white is much easier than just staying white and gold. But you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. So now look what I'm doing. I'm applying it slowly in the places, and I'm alternating to create that check pattern. As you can see, they are super wonky, but you know what? I really do not care as much because it is my first project and I am so proud to share with you. And I know the more I paint, and this is all with everything, the more you do it, the better you are getting at it. So this is my first time using the paint. Maybe I used the wrong brushes, maybe I used the wrong gold, but you know what? I used what I've got, and that's what I want you to go after. And of course, it doesn't have to be gold in your case. I know I'm going to be making plenty other flowers. But now look what happens when you go to another patterns. It goes much easier. Here I go again on the checks. It is painful. My goodness. Wish I knew when I was making my designs on each petal not to pick the checks. But that's okay. So all what I'm doing right now is just going over those checks that I did not paint. That they did not cover well with the gold paint. But it's up to you. As I'm looking at it, I am so enjoying this Hot Mess Express, the patterns, the design, the sizes, I mean, everything about it. But you know what? Again, as I said, wish I was with you, because now here I go to my issue. What am I going to do in the center? So if you are following me for some time, you know that I do like to eliminate and I do like to hear my project. So I am trying to paint my circle that I cut out of paper, the scrap paper, black, and see if maybe a black and white check. No, well, I'm not really big fan of this punch, even though I do like punch. So guess what I'm doing right now? Took my pencil, dip it on the other side of my black circle, a little polka dots, and I'm going to see if that works. Well, I do not like my size of my polka dots. There are too many of them. But I do like the idea of a new pattern. But you know what? Look at me. I struggle. Why are you not with me? So wonder what would you do in the middle. So guess what? I went and to my drawer and I picked some dauber. And I'm going to just simply dab the bigger circles. But as I told you yesterday, I think when I was live, I'm not really good at it. I just do not know how to place as simple circles on the surface to make them look cute. They are not as cute as I want them to be. So my goal here was to bring a little bit of the, sit on it, sort of look at it as I am doing this additional step into my flower. So what I like to do is I took the little light gray with white, and I am just mixing it together to create a little shading to it, just so I can hide my pencil marks, I can hide my imperfection. Well, that was my tip that I was telling you I'm going to do. So not that I am only going in between the edges, I am also going on the white portion of it, just so it does have more of a depth. That may not be the pattern that MacKenzie Childs, that this is actually my inspiration, would do. But you know what? This is my flower. So I got to do what I got to do to make it look at least good in my eyes. So I hope that I am helping you not to really doubt how you do it, how imperfect things are. Just have fun with it and play with it and use your mistakes into your advantage. That's all about it. So now I'm taking, of course, a little bit of the gold paint, going around the edges of each petal to add sort of a finishing look to it. I do not know if this is something you want to do it, but I'm going to do it just so it does have that, finished look, since obviously each petal is sort of on a whitish side on each side. But as I am doing this, of course, you know why I'm doing it, because I am observing my center that I still do not like. It just does not have those beautiful things. So now look what I'm going to do. I think if I'm going to maybe outline with my gold, I do not know where I got it. I think it was from the Dollar Tree during the St. Patrick's. I have no idea. That chains are always around my house. So I decided to add a little punch all around the outer rim of my center. And I have to tell you, as I'm looking at it, I actually do like it, what I'm seeing. But I'm still not in love with my polka dots in the middle. It just, I mean, they are okay. But you know what it is? I'm going to wrap the entire center with this chain. And of course, for one reason, I may change my mind. I'm not adding too much of the hot glue to it. I'm just using dabs here and there. And even if that's going to actually stay there, I am going to enjoy the little movement that my loose petals, or no, loose center is going to bring. This is at least what I'm hoping for. They're really very unruly over here, but you know what? They're not going to win with me. I just need to keep on gluing, keep on cutting and adding a piece by piece. This is the time that it will be good to have a small hands. Things will be much easier. Okay, so I finally did it, and I do have two little beads sticking out of this. And you know what? I may actually use this to my advantage, because you know me, I will feel bad cutting two and leaving them on the side. They will be so lonely, and who knows, they will disappear. So why don't they stay with the whole family? Why don't we just keep on having fun? I do not know what's wrong with me, but now look, all of a sudden I see places that I can add, because I do want this whole chain to be together. Man, it's a family over here. But that's okay. So now I actually do love it. Look at that punch. Look at that life. Look at this, everything that is in there. But now I'm still staring at this two little thingy right in the center. So I decided to go ahead and bring another broken chain that I have, the same chain, and cut the other chain into groups of two and glue them right into the center to create that even more fun. I gotta calm myself down having so much fun with this flower. But I think 5 or 6 groups of 2 I added in a vertical position, so they are sticking out. Okay, that's the last one I'm adding, and I think it is going to be time to make the pictures. So stay tuned. So here it is. I do not know if you can see those pieces, but I'll try to aim to show you. But look how stunning this flower look, even with the Hot Mess Express painting, even with the different pad. Oh look, you can see it right now. See that little things are sticking out? How cool that is. I so absolutely love it. I love the shading, I love the gray, I love the napkin, I love everything about this flower. So I really hope that I inspired you to take look on anything very average and create some fun pieces. Oh, look at this. Now I have the groupings of 2. Oh my goodness, I am so addicted. So that was the red flower, was the one I've done the first time with you guys on live. And this is the bumblebee we made yesterday. Oh my goodness, look at this little family. So I really hope that you did enjoy this project, and I really hope that you're going to sprinkle that for me and show that fun technique that I just recently learned to other of your friends. So it's again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.